Seahawks rookie offensive lineman Mason Richman joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Mason, how's it going?
Very good. Living the dream. How are you?
Hey, congratulations. What was that experience like?
I'd say very surreal and a pretty big blessing for me and my family. Just, I didn't know it all during the process. My agent had told me it was 50-50 on if I get drafted or not. So, made the gathering I had all the way worth it to have everybody over and celebrate that moment. So
that's awesome, man. Happy for you. So you're from Kansas, right? And play ball in Iowa. What do you know about the Pacific Northwest?
I know it's very beautiful nature-wise. It's kind of I think of it as a hidden gem out there. You got to get past the Rockies to get there, but once you do, it's pretty nice. So, I heard the weather's pretty good year-round. Obviously, I might have to get a umbrella down the road.
I was going to say, someone lied to you, Mason.
Well, he's used to that snow.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
Yeah.
The weather's good for where the weather's going to be good for you.
Yeah, no, I'm used to that snow, so hopefully the winters stay wet and not too windy and dry. I'm used to.
I will tell you that I've grown up here, and there's been like 3 snowstorms in my life that I can really remember. I'm telling you, it's going to be a very weird. The summers are so beautiful, and then the winter, and it's going to be just fine for you guys because you're going to have this awesome home field advantage of kind of being used to it, and those are going to be games that I'm sure you've already experienced. You kind of like when the weather's bad, and you're like, yeah, welcome to our house. But it's never going to be snowy. Hey, before my question, getting back to your call really quickly, were you confused at first because it was Gray calling you?
Yeah, I didn't have any heads up or anything, and honestly, I think I don't remember what the area code was specifically, but I was taking anything that rings my phone, so it was Gray Zabel, and I didn't know what he was calling about, if it was like a recruiting pitch as an undrafted guy, or what was. And I realized it was really true when he said 234, and then everyone in the background started cheering or something. So I was like, oh, okay, this is actually happening. So, because I'd get phone calls earlier from other coaches and stuff, but no, when the moment happened, I don't know if confused would be the right word, but I had to believe it in a little bit, I guess.
We'll call it pleasantly surprised.
That's a good one.
Hey, guys my size want to be quarterbacks and running backs, and then, or actually, mostly just want to be quarterbacks, right? And then you kind of settle into what your skill set is. When did you realize I'm going to have my hand in this dirt and I'm going to have to be in these trenches? And did you play any position before that?
Yeah, it's a good question. In high school, I played defensive line and tight end mostly. So, I wasn't a skilled player, but I did have stats, unlike the position I play now. But, going into college, it was kind of not obvious, but some of the bigger schools wanted me at offensive line. So just kind of knew going into that I'd probably be slapping on the knee braces and 50 pounds, and not for the rest of my life, but at least for 4 years in pre-college. And, through it, I think I've gained a lot of life lessons, I think, and a lot of really good friends. Offensive linemen are great to be around. So I'd say, truly, I learned it after the first couple weeks of practice in those knee braces. When I tripped and fell, like most of us do, it's like you're like a baby giraffe, if you will, or you're kind of falling all over the place until you get used to them, and then you kind of maybe change your running form a little bit. So, yep.
If you had to use, I always hate exercises like this, but it's helpful for fans that are kind of getting to know you. If you had to use, let's say, 3 words to describe yourself, what would they be? Okay.
Very, very emotional, good and bad, but, I'm very invested in a lot of the things I do. And, I think I bring out the best in people. So I'd say leader would be another one. And then my third word, put a hyphen in there, maybe like a fun, loving guy.
I'll allow it.
Maybe a hyphen locker room guy or something. I love being around the guys more than anything. And, in the locker room, outside the building and stuff like that, just getting to know everybody as people, and then, having laughs, sharing some food together and stuff like that. That's just the most fun I have in life, is when, you all have a goal, but you kind of settle down and become normal people just for a little bit, eating a meal and, sharing some laughs and stuff like that. So.
Hey, what's your preparation like now? You know, you go through the combine, the pro day type training, and you stay in shape. You wait for your call. So now, what does it look like for you as far as getting ready to come up here to the Northwest physically?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, I don't have an idea of what rookie minicamp's going to be like. So for me, it's just about staying in shape. And, you know, since the pro day was over, you kind of rule out all the 40 times and the change of direction stuff and the jumping. And, you know, you'll do all those things in different forms to stay in shape and keep your body, you know, plyometrically appropriate. But, you know, in this time, it's really just about, you know, lifting weights, keeping your heart in shape for the conditioning, and then working on position drills on top of all that, and getting in the film room. So, you know, just getting anything I can, watching film, you know, staying in shape, just lifting as much as I can, but also being smart, you know, trying to keep my body fresh so that I can hit the ground running here in minicamp in a couple days.
Yeah, no kidding, right around the corner. What was your perception of the Seahawks before getting the call? Obviously, you mentioned, like, you're grateful to you know, be drafted and be here. So we already know you're excited in general, but did you have just a concept of what you liked or didn't like about the Seahawks?
Yeah, I think they showed a lot of people last year, you know, what they were truly made of. I know the franchise had a great run there with the 2010 to 15 or so. And then, you know, even after that, they were always a successful team and, you know, a high value team in the league and stuff. And, you know, great ran by, starts with the owners up top, but even with the coaching change, you know, in the last couple of years now that we've seen, it's good to see that the team still does well. And, you know, that just shows that the culture of the city and, you know, the investment of the owners and the players on top of it all, like, everyone's bought into winning football. And that's just the most important thing in this sport. And, you know, team football, you can tell, you know, there's not one, I think, best player in the league level player maybe on the Seahawks. You know, there's a lot of really, really, really good players maybe, but there's no one who's just sticking out above the team, I think. And that just shows, you know, how good of a team they are. And, you know, it starts with ownership and then it trickles all the way down to Coach McDonald and everybody like that. And, you know, it's just really exciting to be a part of. And I know last year was a close miss of the playoffs, but, you know, hopefully we can get back to that.
Well, Mason, we're excited to have you here. This team wants to take a big step forward with its offensive line, and they have so many names that are going to help them do that, and you're one of them. I will warn you, I don't think your rookie camp experience is going to bring nice weather, but I promise you that when you get here for training camp, it's going to be beautiful. So take this upcoming rookie camp weather with a grain of salt. Just
I will
read
for
into
sure.
that.
No matter the weather, we're going to have practice, so that's all that matters to me.
Exactly right. Seahawks rookie offensive lineman Mason Richman. Thanks, Mason.
Thanks, Mason.
Thanks, Stacey. Thanks, Mike.
Hey, listen, before we break, that is a perfect mentality.
Yes.
Like, no matter the weather, you are going to practice. I remember going to practice at WSU, and it started snowing. I go, so we're done, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going inside. Like, nah, we practice in this. So him coming from the Midwest to here, he'll take the wet all day.
Can I tell you low-key professional move, pro move?
What's that?
Knowing our names.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't actually know us. Might know you. But, like, there are players I've covered who, when I was a reporter, who did not know my name by the time they left.
For sure.